All right.
So, all righty, I will bring this Board of Selectmen meeting for Tuesday, July 28th, 2026 to order. Number one, roll call is Brandon Osgood, John Morton, Peyton Warren is absent, Leslie Dyer, myself, Elizabeth Bunker, and Marjorie Stratton. We don't have any additions.
I don't have any additions, did you?
No, thank you.
Okay. Number two, approve agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Number three, approve minutes from the July 14th, 2026 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Number four, approve and sign treasurer's warrants, number 4.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Communications, number 5A, Alan Curl from AIO. Marjorie?
He has not joined yet.
I sent him a link to the meeting. He said he wanted to just join and talk to the board for 10 or 15 minutes, but I don't.
He hasn't
Maybe.
come in yet, but it's only one after.
If he comes in, we can jump back to him. Okay? We'll move on to 6, speakers from the floor. Seeing none, no one? Not none, no one. Number 7, committee and departmental reports and appointments. A, accept and
There he
appropriate
is.
donations July 2025 to June 2026. And
You have that whole list of
there's a list
ambulance,
here.
fire, library,
Folks want to look at it? Okay. Marjorie, you want to hand them? Thank you. So we'll move back up to 5, communications, and welcome Alan Curl from AIO. Hi, Alan. Oops, he's gone.
No, I'm here. Sorry. I was trying to, anyway. Hi, everybody. Thanks
Hi.
for having me, Marjorie.
Did you want to speak?
Oh, you ready? Yes.
I'm sorry, yes.
Sorry. Do you
No,
have,
you're fine.
yep, I sent you a document earlier. Do you have a way to, can you share screen that?
I don't. I didn't get a document.
I'm sorry, I don't remember getting anything.
Can somebody turn the meeting over? Sorry, that sounds weird, but can you, if you turn the host, if I can, either I can send it to you right now, or, and you can share screen, or if you let me host it, I can share screen it. Or I could just talk, whatever is, no stress, whatever is good for you, whatever you prefer.
It doesn't matter
I'm
to
just gonna
us.
find the.
I'm sorry, I don't remember getting anything.
Was it an
Alan,
attachment?
did you try to do your screen share? Because you should be able to just go ahead and screen share.
Oh, let me see if I can. I'm not that
I
great.
don't see it in the settings where
I sent it earlier today. And I asked you for a, anyway, let me try here.
You should be able to.
Oh, I can't look like that. My back will go out.
Oh, sorry. Of course, Zoom. I don't know. I may have to just come back in real quick. Let me just click this key and see what it does to me.
What's on your share button?
it wasn't share settings, host
Yeah.
tools.
I was able to screen share, so I think he should be able to screen share. I think it's on his end that he was having a challenge.
Yeah, no, it made me, wanted me to come go out and come back for whatever reason, and now try sharing. Okay.
Oh, here it is. I
Okay,
did get it, but I
okay.
didn't register. I could,
If you email it to me.
Okay, I think maybe, are you seeing something from me? Are you seeing a document? Where are
Not
you?
yet.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Let me try this. How about
Oh,
this?
now we are. Yep, thank you.
Okay, great.
There it is.
so I don't need to send it.
So, hi, everybody. I'm Alan Kroll. I'm the Executive Director at AI Area Interfaith Outreach, AIO. Is everybody familiar with AIO? We're a food and energy assistance nonprofit. We're in Rockland, but we serve all of Knox County. And so
Can he turn this volume up?
I'm going to speak tonight about kind of the ways that AIO is connecting with residents of Vinalhaven. Sound good? Well,
Can you turn up a little bit? We can't hear you.
It was perfect at the beginning, but now it's gone down for some reason.
hmm.
Sounds like it's the
Yep.
I don't know why. Let me come a little closer. How about now? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's better,
Okay, sorry.
yes.
I maybe turned my head a little bit. AIO is a energy assistance nonprofit. We're here in Rockland, but we serve all of the county. So other food organizations, we are a Good Shepherd food agency. So other food organizations exist in Knox County, but they're focused on their community. So we take a whole, we're the only ones that have the whole county. So I prepared this document in it, and I don't know if somebody there can make copies or whatever. Probably can't today, but I can. Anyway, I'll just rattle it off, and so you can see it on the screen. But about 13 over the past 12 months, there's about 13% of Vinyl Haven residents who are involved in either receiving services or helping provide those services. And there's kind of different ways that we do that. You may have seen certain of these or be aware of certain of these, but this is sort of the complete list. So we come to Vinyl Haven every Tuesday. We come. So our driver, we have a volunteer who loads up a pickup truck and comes over on the ferry. And there's kind of different things that he makes 3 different stops. It's a little bit complicated and time sensitive because of the ferry schedules, of course, as you all know. But one thing that we do is there's a help yourself shelf unit at the Island Medical Clinic. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that. Like there's the main door, but if you're at the other facing the building, the door to the far right at the other end, if you walked in that door, you would see like a bunch of food on shelves and so forth. Is everybody, maybe you've seen that or are familiar with it?
Yes.
Then there's we partner with the Union Church. We provide food to it's people who sign up for AIO, and they are AIO members, as it were. We send food over in bulk on Tuesdays, and then volunteers at the Union Church assemble that. There's like these picture a bunch of laundry baskets, and they're essentially putting food that we've sent in bulk into each of those, and each of those is it's approximately, it changes, but somewhere in the 30 to 35 household range each week. Fluctuates a little bit. And then we have a weekend meals program that we partner with the Vinyl Haven School with, and part of what we bring over is, of course, food for the weekends for kids who've signed up through the school. During the summer, there is a summer program. Last summer it was at the library, but it's now with the Island Medical Clinic. So there's also food at the Island Medical Clinic that is for kids for the summer for their weekends. Those are the key things that we do with this trip on the van. And then there are a number of people who will come here who they're residents of the island, but they have some reason to come to the mainland on some frequency, and so they just come into the market, and they also have a Vinyl Haven address. They don't also receive food from the Union Church. So they're just people who come here. They have reason to come often enough, and so they're coming here. Then the last thing that we do is energy assistance. So AIO has a program where an AIO member can apply for on a quarterly basis and receive a $200 gift, if you will, that they direct, and it goes to either a fuel oil provider or an electric provider there on the island. And so it can be up to $800 over the course of a year that resident is directing, however they want it to be used. It goes direct to the provider, but the resident is directing us on it. So those are kind of the scope of the different programs that we are engaged in. Okay, so what are the numbers? So there's 20 people a week roughly. We estimate it's anonymous, so we don't know exactly, but based on the amount of food that's taken and an estimate on the amount of food we provide on a weekly basis, and sort of an estimate of what people would on average take, probably something like about 20 people a week are taking advantage of the island medical clinic and the food that's on the self-serve shelf unit that's there. About 35 households through the Union Church that are AIO members. About 52 children a week through the Vinalhaven School. As school was ending in the spring, there's about 52 kids a week. Through the summer program, it's about 30 kids a week. There's about 52 households that come on some frequency to the direct to the AIO market who have Vinalhaven addresses. And there's about 11 households who receive diapers, some on a weekly basis through the Tuesday drop off, others it's just sort of more random. And then there's been 138 of these gifts made to houses, to residents, for energy assistance during the past 12 months. What does that mean in total? In total, there's about 175 unduplicated households with 159 individuals in those 75 households that are served through 4,500 transactions. It's like a transaction just means on a weekly basis or an energy, assistance. Collectively, all of those, like a weekend meals, all of those are about 75 unduplicated households, about 159 people. And about close to 50,000 pounds of food over the course of a year. Kind of just assuming sort of average costs. Maybe it's higher for the island because I'm sure food's a little bit more expensive there on the island. It's about, close to $100,000 that people have probably saved through this, through this food that they're able to access. About $6,800 in energy payments, 5,500 diapers delivered. That's about 11% of the Vinalhaven residents. And so where do I come to 13%? Well, that's if you turn the page, you're going to see things like key donors and supporters. So the medical center, obviously, Davidson Realty is a sponsor of our van. So they have a little spot on our van, which comes from time to time. Camden National Bank, the branch that is there. There's 18 donors with a Vinalhaven address. There's 3 volunteers plus the Union Church, which that group of people fluctuates from week to week. So all told, about 13% of the island is somehow either involved in helping provide the service or in receiving the service. And kind of the last thing that I just like to call out, and sorry that this graph is, oh, sorry, I guess I'm guiding this and I'm not doing a good job. This graph is showing is the age ranges of these 159 different people. And sorry that somehow I was having troubles with the cursor, but the thing that I like to point out on this is that 6, 49, 59, 64, 74% of the people who are receiving AIO services are 59 and younger. And what that says is that I think the reason I like to call that out is because I think a lot of people sort of in their mind think, oh, people who are older and who weren't able to, develop a wealth and have savings and so forth. That's the people who need help from an AIO like organization. And this is absolutely not, it's not true. Yes, there is that group of people, but when you have 70+% of the people coming here are 59 years and younger, and we know that like unemployment is low in the I don't know literally on the island, but unemployment generally is low. There's a lot of people who are working. They're working. They're just the cost of life is too much. It's too much for what they are able to earn. And so it's working folk who we primarily are helping. People with families and people who, just as I say, can't quite earn enough.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
just gonna print it so you guys can have it.
so that's really it. I like to I think it's always a little bit sort of surprising. A lot of the people that I speak to in this kind of setting are sort of surprised at the numbers and the scope of what kinds of services people are available. What I also like to say, and if some of this is new news, good. What I like to say, Marjorie, I don't know if you're the person who allocates and distributes emergency funds or if it's somebody else, but I like to say, make sure to have people come to AIO. And when I say come, I don't mean physically, but come to our website, place a call, email first, and save those emergency funds for really big disastrous kinds of things. Somebody loses a boat, somebody loses a house, that sort of thing. Because I can't tell you the number of people who's received shut off notices and we're able to help them prevent those shut offs from happening. Um, food is, we have 50% of our food comes free. The rest of it comes at very reduced rates. So we're much better able at helping people save money on food. It's a wide, like if you were to, come, and I encourage anybody who happens to have an appointment on the mainland and needs to come stop in for 20 minutes and see, take a tour. We're able to, it's a wide range of food. It's not just a bunch of cans of, beans and bags of white rice. It's a full market that has a wide variety of fresh foods. And so people are able to save a lot of money, and then redeploy that money to kind of, things that they aren't able to, they're hard to afford and they're not able to get. Um, but so I think that's a call out for you as the, town leadership. I think the other thing I would call out, so, our Union Church friends, there's some limits as to what they're able to do. We have a home delivery program that we started about a year and a half ago, and it's on Tuesday. So today, 150 mainland people received food delivered to their home. This is primarily people who do not have a vehicle. They don't have either health, like mobility, physical mobility, or good health, or they don't have a vehicle. And that food, it's not literally custom, but it's relatively, at a big level, it's custom. Things like low salt diet, things like vegetarian, those types of things we're able to customize, gluten free. We're able to customize for people, for households. And it is pretty complete. It's fresh foods, it's frozen foods, it has a wide range. And so I kind of keep socializing a little bit with different groups, beyond the medical clinic, as an example, some other groups that I've had occasion to speak to that are there on the island. We would be happy to. I don't think that the church is able to accommodate this at this point, but we would be. The residents of Vinalhaven are essentially a bunch of home delivery people. Can't get out, right? They can't get to the mainland anyway, and so in that sense, can't get out. We'd be happy to expand what we do bring on Tuesdays, to expand it to really include a lot more fresh food. The the thing that we need is a distribution place that it can be distributed, and probably a refrigerator so that some of the things that we bring can safely be transported. You know, the ferry's not that long, but still to be transported safely or to be, like when it gets there, we can transport it safely, but when it gets there, it can be like refrigerated until the actual distribution can happen. And I don't know where that is. I don't know if that could be the town offices. I don't know where it could be. We could probably help get a refrigerator. Lowe's is incredibly generous. We're regularly getting big appliances like that. I'm sure if we put the word out within, it may not be literally today, but within a few months, we would have a refrigerator. We could get a refrigerator over there. We just need a place where, and a group of people who can kind of help manage that. The boxes would come, the banana boxes, right? Just picture a banana box. They would come labeled with the household name on it. And this sort of customization, it'd already be picked and packed. We can do that. That's what we do for 150 people mainland. We can add another 30 or 40, whatever the demand is. And we would use our van because it wouldn't work on the pickup truck that we currently take, but we try to use the pickup truck because it's of course a lot cheaper, ferry wise, but we would use the van. That van would come over, those boxes would get unloaded. Again, they're all labeled and so forth, but they need a place to, we need a place. And I don't think the Union Church is going to be able to accommodate that. So it's something you don't have to answer today, but I would encourage you to kind of think about that and explore what organization or like what place and what organization might be able and willing to sort of accommodate that and kind of help make it happen. It would really open up, I think, in a better way, what Islanders could, who are in need could get in terms of food variety and food, completeness, as it were. Um, anyway, I'll stop babbling. Any questions or any things I can talk further about?
No, it sounds like it's a wonderful program, for certain. It's great. The town office, unfortunately, we wouldn't have room here for anything like that, but we could all put our thinking caps on and maybe come up with something after we talk about it for a while. See what happens. Anybody have any suggestions?
The only thought I can think of is, I know the transport company uses the coolers, I think at Linda Beans, for food and stuff like that. I'm not sure how big it is or whatnot, if they might consider if they did have the space to help out with that, but that's the only thing off the top of my head I can think of.
Yeah,
I know I've asked him about refrigeration space before myself, and Frank says he has nothing available right now, but
well, I think it's something we can
develop something.
discuss, and ask around, ask different people if they could
Yeah,
accommodate something like this.
I wouldn't worry that much about the refrigeration space because again, I mean, it's just picture a refrigerator, who's got space for a refrigerator? Because I think it could go in there, which is that, again, there needs to be a place that the driver has about, as you know, has about 45 minutes between when he gets off at noon and when he's got to be back in the line, a little before noon, he's got to be back in the line by, 12:30. So he can make these three stops at the medical center, he stops at the school, and then he stops at the church. And it's not much time, so he's got to have a place for these 35-ish, 40 boxes to get, you know, delivered to, placed in place, some volunteers there to sort of help that process. And then here's a couple of things that are going to be the bigger quantity of like fresh fruits that need to go into that refrigerator and then like assembled, if you will, as people come. And so that's really it. I think it's more the logistical part. We can get the refrigerator, but yeah, it's space. It's space for those things and that process to happen. I mean, I'm happy to come over. We could talk more, and maybe it's easier in person. We can talk. And if there's ideas or like, oh, maybe this group, but oh, they need more information. They want, want to learn more about it. I'm happy to come over in person, and try to, facilitate that, just taking, like early fair, like, I mean, there is more than 45 minutes. That's usually what he's doing because he's trying to minimize his, day schedule in his day, but I can come over on the first ferry and go back on the last ferry. That gives a few hours there to kind of have some conversations and so forth. So I'm happy to do that. Just, think about who might be interested in kind of pursuing and problem solving and, talking further.
Well, I think that, we might be able to discuss this at some point. Not, I mean, right now, it's kind of like, oh, let's think about it for a while.
Yeah, of course. I'm springing it on you, but,
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. And we've got people listening, on Facebook as well. Maybe somebody would have some suggestions or want to volunteer a space, or
Even maybe a
You never know.
refrigerated truck that
So-
could just be here on
we'll see
until they get.
how it
distributed.
goes.
yeah. Well, let me
Yeah.
know. We're here.
Yeah, well, if we come up with any good ideas, we'll get in touch with you, for certain.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me and thanks for all the good things that you do.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for all you do.
All right. Take care. We'll talk
Yeah.
again.
Bye now.
Bye.
Yeah, great program. So maybe people listening might have some thoughts on how they can help. It's a big volunteer project. It's not something one person could do, I don't believe, so. Anyway, okay, anybody have anything they want to add? Are we all set to move on? We will say, hi Gabe,
I need a motion for 7A.
7A.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't do that. I would make a motion that we accept and appropriate the donations that came in from July 25 to June 26.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Glad you remembered that. You got so
So
excited.
excited.
Okay, Gabe.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, so downtown project updates. Stormwater still moving along. There have been some, I don't call it delays, it's just taking longer. There's just because of ledge. I know there's the work at Windy Way and the intersection around Windy Way, that took a little longer than anticipated, but I think that Millie, you probably know this better than I do, but I think they wrapped that up yesterday.
They did.
Okay. And then they were at Camden National Bank. So Camden National Bank, catch basin, there are like a couple conflicts in that area with sewer lines and I think and water and anyway, so they've come back to that. They were there today. They'll be there again tomorrow working on that. It looks like they will be working on, so everyone that was supposed to get hooked up to temporary water, these are all the folks that are gonna be on the new section of Maine. That's all done. They've been switched over. And they'll stay on that temporary water till after the new main is completed, and they'll be switched back onto the new main after. They're we're sending out some notifications now, but next Thursday there is another planned shutdown of water to install another gate valve. This one is not on Down Street, it's on West Main Street. So we have notified some folks who were definites around that shutdown. We have a new list of some additional folks based on the fact that the original shut off that they were looking for is not there. So they're had to relocate, which then sort of involves more people on the shut off. So everyone will be notified by tomorrow morning that this shutdown is supposed to happen next week. And like I said, a few people already know about it. And it just affects a handful of properties, like between the Candy Co. and like just past the boatyard. So that again is part of the water project, which will happen next week. I'm trying to think if there's other things that are coming up. But I think, I mean, honestly, that's all I can think of at the moment, just continuing to move forward with stormwater. I mean, there's some sections that are done, which is great. I think the run by the fire station is done. There is still, there are still some sections that cross the street, cross Main Street by the parking lot that need to happen. And we're really needing to get like a full traffic plan from JBI for those because, you know, we've been able to mostly use single lane traffic, but there are some questions as to how that's gonna work in tight areas where pipe is going across the road. So anyway, you know, we'll be looking for that from JBI, and we do have a construction meeting coming up in the second week of August, so we hopefully will have things resolved by then or things known by then. But does anyone have any specific questions, or better yet, Millie, do you have anything to add, or Marjorie or Pam?
I do not, I think that's pretty much cut and dry.
Does
I don't
anyone
have
have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Yeah, it is. Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah,
Is that-
you're welcome. The only other thing I did want to, this isn't downtown, but I do have a like a sort of a revisit of what we spoke about last time in terms of having Woodard and Curran come talk about their Vinyl Cove analysis. We discussed that at the last meeting, and I was going to come back with a date. What they proposed was August 11th meeting. And then I just didn't know if that select board meeting was good for you all. Brent can be on island and, you know, come to the meeting in person. And then Kevin Trainer, who was the primary engineer on the water end of that project, will zoom in. So if that works for you, I can confirm that with him and then the project team and let folks know if that
Do you
works.
have a time?
It would
Can
just
we-
be at the regular select board meeting, but like you guys say, you know, where it would fall on the meeting agenda.
Does Brent have to know, like, right this minute?
No, we don't. I just need to know if it's a yes or no, so I can confirm that evening with them.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't think that we have, I mean, who knows what's going on, but,
So next meeting, right?
yep.
Yeah.
If he wants to come out and be here, that's fine.
Yeah, I think he was planning to come out anyway because our construction meeting is the following day.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's
Right.
perfect then.
He'll be out anyway, and then Kevin can just zoom in.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good.
Okay, great. All right, thank you for that.
Yep, you're welcome. You all set?
I am, and actually I am going to hop off if that is okay with everyone.
Okey dokey.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Bye, Gabe.
See you
Bye-bye.
later.
Good evening.
Alrighty. Milsu, Public
Paving.
Works,
I'm paving.
paving.
We have one complete lane, on North Haven Road, finished today and started back up the other side. We should come very close to the end tomorrow with that. And then Thursday's gonna be a rain, so we're looking, that's what I've been doing, is working with the transporter, Pike and Jake and everyone, trying to get something up, happening for Friday, so that we can finish up the base layer, and then in August, we can come back and do a 1-inch overlay on what we've done. And that section will be done and paving will be done from here
Wow,
again.
good job.
Nice.
So you'll be able to move on to mowing and all those other,
Roadside mowing, we've got some grading to do, places to touch up. I've got some work to do on Zeke's Point Road.
no,
Yeah, Burger's little hill there, the Burger Hill, I'm gonna rip that up and try to make that a little gentler on everybody.
Yeah.
So, and some more work, you know, down on the backside of Tiptoe as well. So, we've got a lot to do, but We like to stay busy.
Yes, and it keeps you out of trouble.
I think so. Sure, yes. But that's it for me.
Okay, good, thanks, Mel.
Absolutely.
Moving on, 8, old business, seeing none, we will go to new business. 9A, notice of malfunctioning wastewater disposal unit.
So I've been working with Jameis and Elaine Drury at this property over here for about a year now. We received a complaint initially, and the code officer and myself did an inspection. They did get a site evaluation and have a septic system designed. They were unable to hook up to the public sewer, but the septic system was supposed to be installed this spring, and they're stalling. So we do have a mechanism whereby the municipal officers can order them to install the septic system within 10 days. So that's what I would like to do, if you agree.
Motion?
Sure, why not?
I make a motion that we,
I need to change that to the 29th, is that all right?
Yep, let me print a new one then, because we don't wanna sign.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had the date on there, the 24th, and tomorrow, when I deliver the order, it will be the 29th.
oh, yep,
9.
yep.
Save. Change it to color, because we want it to look official.
I apologize, I didn't notice the
That's
date
fine.
until we were
I'm
just
just
sitting
Think
here.
about it.
How do you want me to word the motion?
Just
Serve
sign
the notice, huh?
Sign the,
Notice of malfunctioning wastewater disposal unit.
sure.
Does that sound good? Pretty official. That's my motion.
Okay, second.
All in favor?
Alright, we just need one. Alright, I'll go get that.
Alrighty. Wait
What
for
there
it to
is,
come back.
there is just an old cesspool, and it needs to be remedied.
Yeah, it's hard when it affects the neighbors, so,
Yeah, I mean, he's been very patient,
yeah.
with, septic bubbling up very close to his, or on his property, so.
Thank you.
And just logistically too far to hook into the public water where that location is.
Septic sewer, the sewer you mean?
Or yeah, this.
Yeah, I analyzed it with Jim Dwyer, who is the plumber that I use for our sewer system. And it's either too far a distance, or they would have to get easements to go that way to Washington School Road. And the distance is too, and Summer Street, the septic doesn't go down Summer Street.
There's no septic system
Yeah.
down, no sewer down there.
Okay.
So that end of Summer Street doesn't have public sewer.
Yep.
So, and we talked to Elaine and Jameis about that and said that it wasn't possible. So that they did get a site evaluation, they're ready to go. I talked to Darren Jones, and he said he's ready to go, but he needs a deposit. And, I've just, I'm at the end of, trying to, get things going, so I'm hoping that this will force the issue, so that we'll get that installed.
Okay, well, that's the notice to be served, so
Thank you.
thanks, Marjorie. 9B, discussion on amendment to quarry preservation ordinance or creation of parks ordinance. At this point in time, it's hard to get a parks meeting organized. People are so busy. I think it's something we'll have to start on in September. Hopefully, things will calm down a little bit because people are working and, busy with summer things. But if we are that concerned about it, I have talked to Marjorie about having a town vote on amending the quarry preservation ordinance to add, this is taken from, Lizzie went through and copied a bunch of different, ordinances from other towns. This one's from Bar Harbor, but it's very simple. No person shall use any public park in the town of Bar Harbor for the purpose of overnight accommodation or a temporary or permanent abode or habitation except with the written permission of the permitting authority. Certainly, the wording would be changed, so it'd be use any town-owned quarry or however what of the, I'm sorry? Town part, well,
Because the issue we're
It's-
trying to
this
solve
is-
is that people are staying overnights in
well,
quarries.
after the big mess of a couple of weekends ago, when people had tents at the Moose Quarry and they wouldn't leave and people were all upset and, I mean, to create an ordinance, I don't wanna just jump into creating a parks ordinance until we can all meet and sit and talk about it. I mean, we don't have a parks ordinance. To just add that to a quarry ordinance, to me, is a simple way to do it. I don't know how, if it would happen again, who knows? I don't know that anybody's tried to tent or camp, well, I guess somebody was at Lawson's last year,
Last year and the year before.
Yeah,
somebody
but
else was-
they got booted out with no problem. Anyway, I know Marjorie's not really in favor of, calling town meetings for town votes, or whatever you wanna call it, because I don't know why, actually.
Logistically, a lot of
You
work.
never really said, but certainly.
No, okay, so the point is, we would like to develop a comprehensive parks ordinance.
Right.
I think everybody agrees on that.
Yes,
So that's gonna take a little bit of time to put together, and, what Pam has said is that the select board should say to the Parks Commission, we'd like to delegate this job to the Parks Commission to look at several town ordinances around the state, maybe, coastal towns, and develop our own parks ordinance, which I think is great. And that would include the camping issue, which seems to be a continuing issue. But Pam's idea is to just right away have because these ordinances take a town meeting to amend. So some, like parking and traffic, can be amended by the Board of Selectmen just at a meeting. But this ordinance, this town ordinance has to be amended at a town meeting. So my only problem with it is just to say, do we really want to go to the extent of having a town meeting to put an extra line in the quarry preservation ordinance, when that would only cover our, like Booth's Quarry and Lawson's Quarry as to the camping. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. And now that we have, the other point that I'll interject here is that we did receive that money for the library, and that has to go to town meeting to accept that $500,000. So there may be an opportunity to have this special town meeting and accept this. The town has to accept the donation.
gift.
And for instance, when we got the Harriet Chatfield money, that was about $120,000. And it went to town meeting and they said that, yes, we accept this money, we're gonna put it in expendable trust, and it will be expended on recommendation of the library trustees, only for capital projects, not for operating. So that's just a for instance of the things that you would take to town meeting, and let the people of the town decide, if you will, the basic parameters of accepting that very kind donation. And we can talk about that a little bit later, but anyway, so there is an opportunity, since we have to do that, that we could just simply add another section to this. And
section
so it'll
4.
be in effect for the quarries before we get that comprehensive parks ordinance.
Yeah, this is just to allow for
So
an enforcement
my-
mechanism in lieu of the
Yeah,
overarching
well,
parks
that's what I'm
enforcement.
seeing.
But my point is that Knox County didn't have, they have to have it before they can use it, before they can say, no, you can't be here camping, they have to show
The
that,
local order.
that it's
Right.
Because
prohibited.
right now, it's just a,
And
hey,
so-
please kindly, would you
Yeah,
leave?
so that's why my thought is if we just add it to the quarry for now, and then when we, assuming we will get the ordinance, the new parks one done, then it might be redundant, doesn't matter, we'll leave it in there and then just have the parks, you know.
Sounds good to me.
So anyway, that was my thought, because it was such a cluster. You know, people were emailing me and messaging me and you and Marjorie, and all three of us were on the mainland, so there was nothing much we could do. And it was kind of a mess, I guess. I don't know, I have no idea, as I said, I wasn't here, but I think it would be helpful for the sheriff or the deputy to have something that they can.
Yeah, the other part of that too was, in speaking with the sheriff's deputy, he said that one other issue is people think they wanna take it into their own hands to go up and say to these people,
Oh, yeah.
you can't do this. And then when the deputy gets there, they're not doing what the complaint was. He can't do anything if he gets there and they're not doing it. So people need to just simply call and say, hey, I have this complaint, I'd like you to come handle it, and let the deputy handle it.
Right,
That's the other part of that,
call dispatch.
yes.
Always call dispatch first. And you don't know in these times what kind of weapons people might have.
Yeah.
You know, people are pretty loose.
There's a non-emergency Knox County number,
Yes,
Yeah.
yep.
use it.
I would be nervous approaching people, thinking if they have a gun or a knife or, you know, you never know.
Or
Okay.
The quarry, you have to
Imagine.
have something awfully small, hide it effectively.
So, I will work with the town clerk and, maybe propose some dates for a special town meeting. And, put these two things on there, and then it will come back to you to approve and sign the warrant. So I'll get that together. And it would just be a basic statement in the quarry preservation to prohibit camping at the,
Yeah, I like that.
I have
I
one other.
did like, I'll leave those.
And it might need to be specified, like camping and overnighting.
I mean, we
like, if
don't,
people
we
are
can.
like-
Because we have,
like, I'm in a tent
like
versus
baby
my
tents.
We don't need that.
For like babies
So
that
if we just-
we've used for our
So,
daughter to sit in under, out of the sun
and
while
then
we're
of
at the
course
quarry, and so we
wording
have to
here
make
would be
sure
different.
that
Right.
those small tents aren't as big
Yeah.
of a deal, as long as it's not taking up space where
And
the
then-
person has the whole area
and
to
then
themselves. Be respectful of others, but
All right,
just
thanks.
make sure that
very
we're
much
not
for that.
knocking certain things off that shouldn't be.
Yes.
I can also send the wording out
Yeah,
to see, you know, what do you think about this, and before I, bring it back to you. Is that-
sounds good.
is that
I
good?
like that one.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, so moving on to number 10, report of town manager.
So I've already talked, a little bit about the check that we got today. It was from Janice Calderwood's estate. I mean, I knew Janice, but she never really mentioned anything about leaving all this money to the various organizations in Vinalhaven. The library received, $500,000. So as I explained a little bit ago, that it does require a town meeting vote to accept the funds, and, you know, maybe talk a little bit at the town meeting about, I mean, last time I remember, there was quite a bit of discussion, and one of the things that, there was an amendment to the warrant article to say that they didn't want it to be used for operating funds, for instance. They changed it to, you know, that they just wanted it to be for capital projects, as a for instance.
Yeah, I was on the board
Yeah,
then.
yeah, and, so anyway, we will be developing, so there'll be 2 articles on the special town meetings for the quarry and the, accepting of these funds. Does anybody have any questions or?
Can it be ready, it can't be, or it can be ready by the next meeting?
No,
Has
because,
to be how long?
well, it has to be posted for 7 days.
7 days,
But we have to bring it to you and you have to sign it at
Yeah.
a meeting.
okay.
So we can bring back the proposed dates and a draft
Is
for
that
the next
okay?
meeting, but then it would
August
be
11th.
after that.
Well, because the town clerk has to be there, I like to work with her to, make sure that she's available, you know, to, to
Oversee it.
oversee the, special town meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't take very long, but.
We have to get a moderator, we have to,
Yeah,
there's
there's a
different
little bit
times
of a
to notice
process.
and.
It's fine, it's
Questions?
fine. No,
No,
That's good.
no. All set. Anything further, Marjorie?
Let's see. I've gone back to square one on the code enforcement. That man Garrett Lauer never got back to us, so. And I sent a second follow-up question to EJ DuPont, the director at Maine State Ferry Service, but he didn't answer me as to why the Spear is going to the Swans Island instead of the Thompson. So I'll try to follow up with him again and see if I can get an answer to that.
Okay, thanks. All right, I will move on to number 11, report of members. Brandon?
Nothing
Good.
for this time.
I wanted to thank Marjorie for the correspondence from Knox County about last time, about the ice
Oh, the
relationship,
ice.
and then the contract, which was nice to see. I didn't know if we'd had any update on the deputies coming in to provide their reports.
No, we are supposed to meet, I haven't talked to Pam to see if she was available. We're supposed to meet with the chief, what's his name? Arthur Smith.
Captain
Captain
Smith.
Smith.
Arthur,
Sorry, I'm just getting to my calendar here.
Millie.
It's the first Wednesday of each month, so I just need to make sure that Pam is available on the 5th. And anybody else that's available can come. We do a Zoom meeting the first Wednesday of every month. I can notify other selectmen if they want to be included in that.
10 a.m., isn't it? Do we meet at 10, I think?
I don't know why I don't have it in here.
I'm thinking it's 10.
Yeah, let me know if I'm free, I'd love to go join.
Okay. And as to, I don't have any updates on the deputies themselves coming to a board meeting. That was something that you had requested, that the deputies
It's in the
check in
contract.
with us at a board meeting.
I think it said on the contract, the first meeting of the month, they were supposed to.
Yeah, and so then other than that, just more people talking to me about water. So I don't know whether that's reaching out to Knox County Soil and Water Conservation or to USGS through the state, but somehow like getting the ball rolling on finding out how much water we have, what our recharge rate is, just more information about the water availability. Because people are noticing, like, especially like when Airbnbs are coming in and active, like immediate drawdown on the water table. And like, and people are struggling to find information that's not just with the water district. And so it's just people are in a state of
Well, I always
unknown.
recommend that they look at, I know it's getting old right now, but the information is still valid. The study that was done by is it Gorman back in, I have it here.
Who is
that
it
he-
that's
And it's just, it's
come
getting
out?
to salience right now, because there was just an article a couple of weeks ago that Islesboro is really struggling with their water. They're really, really dry and bare at this point.
I
And so
do
it's
have a
affecting other island
comprehensive
communities.
study that was done quite a few years ago now, but I think it's still valid, that people are welcome to look at.
All right,
And I don't give it out because I only have one copy left. So they're
Is there
welcome
any way to get that online and available for folks? Like scanned?
I don't know, I'd have to think about that.
I do know that we have, this person, 7/29 and 30th, which is tomorrow and the 30th. We met with this, Jessica Meeks, she's a hydrologist.
Yep.
And she wants to, instrument wells that are no longer in use, are at risk of saltwater intrusion, which we know there's a lot of that. And that's part of that whole thing, they wanna be able to monitor the levels.
Yeah, because I think that folks are just getting worried with the proliferation of Airbnbs and more than anything, the speed with which they're turning over and how much more laundry and water usage that is, and that data from the latest study might be already quite out of date based on increased water usage and drastically decreased rainfall.
Well, what is it that you're proposing, I guess, then?
I mean, I think Pam answered my question with this hydrologist wanting
Oh,
to come
okay.
out and do some research and just ensuring that that's like, not just on the water district area, but island as a whole.
Yeah, no, this is a, totally, it has nothing to do with, it's just, I don't even really
Because
know.
my mother had been involved with, in wells to try to find out what the state that data is in, if it's available to anybody, if that project's been expanded on at all.
Again, years ago, when Sean Gambrell was here as a island fellow, we did a tremendous amount of